My name is Samuel Osei Tutu. My grandchildren call me Grandpa, but I will allow you to call me Sam or Uncle Sam. I am here to introduce you to Architects Maths Training, where we have created maths courses for high school students who follow the Australian maths curriculum for years 7, 8, 9, and 10, and also for the students of the West African Examination Council curriculum, specifically for JHS1, JHS2, and JHS3. So, how did the birth of Architects Maths Training come about? In other words, how did a pensioner like myself get himself into high school mathematics? One day, two of my grandchildren asked me to assist them with their maths homework. As I started working with them, I began to wonder how many students may be in need of similar help as my grandchildren, but with no one to assist or the means to help themselves. And if I wanted to help such kids, how do I reach as many as possible? And this is the birth of Architects Maths Training. Before I go any further, let me tell you a little bit about my academic background. Maybe you're wondering, but who is this guy? I'm a mining engineer by profession, but I gradually shifted into computing. I received my BSc in mining engineering at the Camborne School of Mines in England. I continued at the University of Wollongong for my master's, and eventually I pursued a master's in information management at the University of Western Australia to complete the shift into computing. Currently, I'm certified by Microsoft as a trainer, and I have over 1,400 students on the Udemy online platform. These math courses that I'm introducing to you cannot be found on the Udemy platform, as I consider them too specialized to be put on that platform. In between my academic studies, I have worked for a number of companies in Australia and overseas. And so now let us look at how this training course is structured. First, I'm a strong believer that practice makes perfect, especially when it comes to mathematics. The math course that I've created are designed to be 100% hands-on. As I mentioned already, the courses are based on the Australian curriculum for years 7, 8, 9, and 10, as well as the WAEC, that is the West African Examination Council curriculum for JHS1, JHS2, and JHS3. The course is completely hands-on, and first, I give video explanation of concepts that you are going to meet in the course. As I will explain when we go through the course, every topic has subtopics. For example, when we come to geometry, there are so many topics within geometry, and we treat each and every one of them with videos. I introduce the concept of every subtopic, as well as the theory behind what we are learning, because before you get into doing exercises. So I just don't jump you into doing exercises. I give you the opportunity to learn the concepts behind each topic that we treat. So as I've said, there are subtopics within main topics, and I explain everything step by step through videos. Immediately, I give you opportunity to apply your knowledge to what you learn. So if you learn a topic in any subtopic, you are immediately given opportunity to do exercises on that topic, and that will show you how much you have understood the topic you've just studied. I also I give you the opportunity to apply technology to every topic that we study. Usually, I allow you to use products like Excel to do specific exercises in the topics that we have. I have provided navigational buttons within the exercises within the course for you to move freely between exercises if you wish. The other thing I've provided in the course is glossaries. I have explained every term that we meet in the course. I've explained them both with text and video. And so by the end of the course, you will understand every concept and every term that you have come across in the course. The course is also structured in such a way that it will suit group study. So I will advise you to actually go through this course with a friend, not more than 3 people. Just form a group of study friends with at least 2 other people, and then you can have concrete discussion of the course as you go through. So we will spend the next few minutes or hour, probably half an hour, to actually go through every button on the course, every step in the course, for you to understand exactly how the course is structured. It is now time for us to look at the structure of the course. We're going to run through one of the courses. But before we do that, let me make a point clear. I have courses for Year 7, Year 8, and Year 9 based on the Australian curriculum. And I have one for JHS1, JHS2, JHS3 based on the West African Examination Council curriculum. All these courses, I have structured them to be similar. The structure of all these 6 courses are similar. However, each course is based on its curriculum. For example, the Year 8 course for the Australian students is based on the Year 8 curriculum for the Australian high school. The JHS3 curriculum, for example, is based on the JHS3 curriculum for the West African Examination Council syllabus. But the demo we are going to work through today is based on the Year 7 curriculum for the Australian high school and JHS1 curriculum for the WAEC syllabus. So even though you are going to look at only one course for one particular year, the structure of the courses of all the 6 courses are the same. If I want to show you a demo for Year 7, Year 8, and Year 9, and for JHS1, JHS2, and JHS3, I am going to show you the same thing because the structure of all these 6 courses is the same, but the content of the actual courses are different. It's completely different. So if during the demo you see courses that are different from what you are going to study or from what you are studying, remember that the demo is based on only one course, which is the Year 7 for the Australian curriculum or the JHS1 for the WAEC curriculum. So don't panic. Your course will be based on your curriculum. It is now time for us to begin using our course. I have tried my best to present a simple user interface. However, there is a load of information behind each button that you see on the screen here. The first button we look at is the End Study section. This button here. This button, as the name suggests, will end the current section. Ending the study session will automatically save the exercise that you are on, together with the current date. Next time you come back, you can continue from the last study session by selecting this option here. This will take you to the last exercise you were on in your last study session. I have provided you with a pre-study test, and I suggest that you take this test once before you embark on the course. The test is timed. You are given 90 minutes. You can pause the clock at any time and come back to continue. Taking the test will give you a benchmark to maintain your progress as you go through the course. This course is designed to last for exactly 365 days, and I believe that you can complete the course once, that is from beginning to end, in 6 months. After 6 months, come back to the test and compare your results with the pre-course test. And irrespective of your progress, please go through the course again in the next 6 months before the course stops working. Let us have a quick tour through the test. So to start the test, you click this button here and immediately the test will open for you. As I said, you can pause the test. If you want to go to the loo or do something, you can click this button here to pause the test. And so to start the test, you click this button. And I've already told you that this test is timed. You have to take 1.5 hours to complete the test. When you take the test, you get immediate feedback when you answer a question. Your performance in different categories of questions is also displayed. Unlike other exercises in the course, where you are immediately given a feedback as you enter your answer to a question. In this test, when you enter an answer in the text box, you have to click another text box for your answer to be registered. So let's take a few minutes to go through a couple of questions in this test. So I've started the clock and it's now 57, almost 1 minute since I started the test. Let's go through and do a couple of questions. First, let's look at a few questions here. Let's say, and by the way, there are different subjects that comprise this test: numbers and algebra, measurement and geometry, statistics and probability. And I give you a lot of story problems and then a chance to use technology even within this test. And as I've already said, if you want to pause the test, you can pause it for as long as you like. And when you want to continue, just click this button here. And you will be given the chance to continue the test. So let us look at a couple of questions. Let's look at this question here. I've given you different variety of questions. Over here, question 37 is just a selection of options. Okay, you select the right option and you get an immediate feedback. Okay, let's look at another one here. Let's look at, let's say, question 47. Question 47 is a probability question. And I want you to give me the probability of selecting an odd number from these numbers. What is the probability of drawing an odd number? And of course, if you look at it, at this one here, we have 8 numbers. And how many of them are odd? 1 is an odd number, 5 is an odd number, 7 is an odd number, and 11 is an odd number. So we have 4 out of the 8 as odd numbers. So our probability is 0.5. So when we enter 0.5 in the text box, as I said, you have to move out to another text box for the answer to register. Any answer you provide will display on the graph here. For example, over here, the key is a pink box means you are wrong. And this blue one here means you are correct. So if we give a wrong answer to this question here, as we have done, it immediately changes from blue to pink to tell you that statistics and probability, you have got one question wrong. Okay, so let's enter the correct answer now, and we will get it back to be correct. So you are given this one here to show that out of 100%, you've answered 3% correct. You've answered 3% correct, and you have not answered 96% of the questions. The percentage of unanswered questions for the statistics and probability is 96. You don't get exactly 100. 96 plus 3 is 99. Because of rounding ups, you don't get exactly 100. So let's look at another question here. Let's look at question, this one here, we have drag and drop. As I said, I've given you a variety of answering mechanisms. So drag and drop until you get the correct answer. So I ask you to arrange these numbers in descending order. So look at them. Descending means you have the highest number first. The next highest number is the second one. So this one gives you the chance to do drag and drop until you get the correct answer. Let's look at the last one, and then we finish with this test. So over here, I ask you to use your calculator to find the reciprocals of the following numbers. Of course, 2 is half. You enter your answer, and you move away from the text box, and your answer will be recorded. 5 The reciprocal of 5 is 1 over 5. You move away and your answer is correct. So 6.2, the reciprocal is, that is 10 over 62, which is 5 over 31. 5 over 31. The reciprocal of 1.5 is 10 over 15, which is 2 over 3. 2 divided by 3, that's the reciprocal. You move away and you get your answer. And the reciprocal of -1 is, of course, -1. And so you get your answer. And as you do it, as you go through, this is under the using technology section of the test. And as you go through, you get your answer. So you've answered 5 correct. 5 correct. If I should answer 4 correct, if I should answer one of them wrongly, let's say this one here, if I should answer it wrongly, now my correct answer is reduced from 5 to 4, but the wrong answer is 1, which means out of the 5, I've got 4 correct and 1 wrong. So let me bring it back to the correct stage. That is 2 divided by 3 to 2/3. So I'm back to having my 5 answers correct. So I've given you this test, and I cover all the different aspects of our course, the subjects that you meet in this test. These are the main topics that we go through: numbers and algebra, measurement and geometry, statistics, and story problems. I've got a lot of story problems for you here. For example, this one here is a story problem. Kwaku and his family and his 4 siblings are among the 100 students vying for top scholarship. What is the probability that Kwaku or any of his 4 siblings will win the scholarship if all 100 students have equal chance of winning? In fact, this is probability question. And there are a lot of other questions. I'm trying to find one for story problem. So I will leave you to go through this test. This particular one here, question 28 says, Mameya bought 4.5 kilograms of fish at 25 cedis per kilogram, or you can use $25 per kilogram, whichever you prefer, and 7 kilograms of tomatoes at 16 kilograms, 16 cedis or $16 per kilogram. How much did she spend on both food items? So these are questions for you. And as I've said, go through this test and then go through the course. After 6 months, I hope you will have completed the course from beginning to end. Then come back to this test and take it again and compare your results with the one you took before you embark on the course. And then go through the course again for the second 6 months. And when you finish again, come back to take the test. And I hope this will give you a benchmark of how much you have progressed and how much you have learned in the course. As a matter of fact, if I have to demonstrate to you every feature in this course, it will take us a long time to finish. In fact, I'm struggling to figure out which features to show you and which ones to skip. Over here, I've provided you glossaries of every term. To open the glossaries, just click this button here. And I have provided you with glossaries of every term that you will meet in the course. I believe that if you understand the terms that you meet, that will help you to understand the concepts behind these terms and this course. So over here, I have covered every term that we will meet in your course. I provided you textual explanation to each term, and there is nothing that I think I have left out. Okay, so we can go through a few examples. In addition to explaining every term to you in text form, as you can see, I've also provided videos for behind every term. I explain with videos everything that you will meet in the course. So I'm trying to find one to demonstrate to you here. Let's look, for example, at angle of elevation. I've defined and explained angle of elevation on this text. The angle of elevation is the angle of your line of sight from the horizontal when looking down at an object. Okay, I've defined it, and then I've given you a picture of what the angle of elevation and, of course, angle of depression are. And in addition to that, I've provided a video to actually explain this concept to you, the angle of elevation and angle of depression. So the angle of elevation is just... So this video is actually in the course. The opposite of the angle of depression that you might have seen earlier. So again, if we draw our man, and this is the eye level for this man, the horizontal eye level for this man. And let's say the man sees a bird here, or an aeroplane. The man sees something, some object here. The man sees some object here. He has to raise his eyes. That person has to raise his or her eyes to see that object. And the angle between the horizontal and the direction of the object, the line of sight of the man to the object, is called the angle of elevation. From the beginning, if I said angle of depression, I really meant angle of elevation. So the angle of elevation is measured from the horizontal upwards to an object that a person is looking at. Okay, so that is it. And as you can see, I've provided videos of all the terms that we meet. I'm trying to find another one that we can look at. Let's look at, say, line segment. I've defined it here for you, but I've also provided you a video for us to look at. And I think videos are a good means of retaining facts. That's why I have actually tried to provide videos of all the terms that we encounter in the course. So let us play this one here. Let's look at what a line segment is. Line segment. To understand a line segment, we have to understand line first. What is a line? So it's very difficult to define the line, but it's like a very thin wire. And lines don't vary. In reality, lines don't have thicknesses. They are very thin, infinitely thin. Thickness, no thickness. Lines don't have thicknesses, and they are infinitely long. Sometimes we write something like, oh, this is a line. In mathematical terms, this is not a line. A line is actually represented by arrows, which means that they go infinitely without stopping. And when we can represent them with arrows, like line AB, we can write it as AB. We can write the line as AB. So if we have a line here, if we have this line here, a segment of a line is any part of the line. So we can have a segment here, line segment CD, line segment CD. So a segment is part of a line. It's a section of a line, and it's usually written as CD without the arrow. The arrow on the line, actually AB, for example, signifies that it hasn't got limits to its length. And a line can also be represented with an italics figure, like you can have, say, line F. You can write something like line F. But usually we write the end point of
the line as AB. So to recap, a line segment is just a part of a line. We usually take this to be a line, but it's actually defined as an infinite length. A line is has an infinite length, and part of the line is called segment. Part of the line is called segment, a line segment.
Okay, so as I've told you already, I have videos after videos for every term that I have defined, and I've just shown you a couple. So this, I believe, will help you to understand effectively the course that you are taking. In fact, probably we can look at one more. What can I show you here? A histogram. I've also defined histogram for you. As I said, we cannot go through every aspect, every feature of this course. Otherwise, we are not going to finish. But over here, as you can see,
you can actually make it bigger.
I've given you.
So this is what
I've given you a visual.
Let's look at what a histogram is. Histogram. This is a column chart. This is a column chart. With the only exception that we can group data in bins, in what we call bins. In other words, we can group our data into separate bins. For example, if you have a large amount of data, let's say salaries of 10,000 people, we want to analyze the salaries of 10,000 people. You want to know how many people earn, say, 20,000, between 20,000 and say 25,000. How many? This is called a bin. How many people earn this range? And how many people earn, say, 25,000, between 25,000 and say 35,000? How many people earn between this? You can display this data in what we call a histogram so that you can determine the frequency of the numbers. Let's say if 10 people earn between this amount.
So I'm not going to finish this video, otherwise we will stay here for the next day. So let me just run through. That is the video. I use Microsoft Excel to explain to you the concept of histogram. Okay. And in that case, you will also learn how to use Microsoft Excel to draw your graphs like we have done in this video. So that is the point that I'm trying to make. In addition to the glossaries that I've provided here for you, let me close this. The course also comes with summaries. I have summarized every aspect of this course. I have summarized them, giving you summaries. And in addition to this text information that I've provided, I also, even within the summaries, I also provide videos, okay, to explain further all the things that you have come across in the course. So let's play this video. I think it's going to be long, but I will shorten it. No, it's too long. So let me play it and then finish it.
Okay. So we used to have this triangle here.
Okay. So that is it. I just wanted to know you to know how much information I have put in this course for you to learn. So we are not going to play this video. I will just stop it. But the point I'm trying to make is that how much effort have gone into this course to give you everything that you will need to learn. When we play the video for how to get volumes, let's play the video for this one here. So
all the shapes that we've been looking at have been two-dimensional. That is, they have breadth and width, or length and breadth. But we also have three-dimensional figures. So it has width, breadth, and depth. So we will look at a few three-dimensional figures. And The most common ones we will look at are the prisms and the cylinders. And I'm giving some information about these two figures here.
Again, I'm not going to play this video to the end. Otherwise, as I've already said, it will take us long time to complete this demonstration. But I'm just dragging you through the video, and you see exactly what I have provided for you to learn. I've given you examples after examples, using figures and concepts to actually drive you home to the course that you are about to embark on. So that is it. Let me close this one here, and then I have within every summary, I have tabs or buttons to explain other things for you. So let us go through these probabilities. For example, probabilities, you have different information that I have provided for probabilities. The only thing that will keep you from mastering mathematics is that when you buy this course, you just install it and you refuse to learn. But I assure you that if you have the time and the interest to go through what I have provided you, you have everything. I can assure you that you have everything to perform in your exams. Okay, this is another summaries for some of the information that we will come across in the course. So let me close this. What else can I show you? Graphing essentials. We have numbers. Okay, you have everything at your fingertips to learn and to overcome your fear of maths. We define significant figures, integers. We go through that. Reciprocals. All the information that you need for your syllabus is provided here. And then I provide videos to help you to understand things better. Okay, let me close this. What else can I show you? This one here, how to sketch and linear and other information that will help you to learn. I am not going to go through everything. Otherwise, as I've said, we will spend the whole eternity going through this demo. So I will leave you here. The next thing that we will come across is how to actually do exercises. Okay, this is the last one that we are going to look at. How to do exercises. And I have dumped everything that you need to do the exercises for the course here. Okay. First of all, you have three means of doing your exercises. I think we've already looked at how you can continue your exercises from your last session. If you close your last session, the exercise you were on will be saved with the date. And when you come back, you can actually click continue from last session saved on this date, and then you can click OK. And that will take you to the exercise that you finished on in your last session. So we are not going to go through that now. The other one is that you can actually enter a number. For example, if you want to see exercise 88, just enter 88 in this text box here and click OK. And you will be taken to exercise 88. Let's close this one here. So if you come here and want to see exercise 96, just type it. That will take you to exercise 96. And exercise 96 is construction. And I've given you how a help as to do some constructions. And this contains a number of construction, and I have provided videos to help you to do these type of exercises. Let me close this video. Okay, let me see how it works.
The next one we will look at is how to copy an angle. Let's say that we have a line here and we have another one. Now, this is angle alpha. We want to copy this angle here. We want to copy that angle. Let's call this A. Let's start with our line where we want to copy the angle to. So let me call this, this one here. Let me call it B. We want to copy angle alpha on this line here. First, we will put our compass here. We will put our compass here, one point of the compass here. Then we will open it up to draw a curve. So we will open it up. We will draw a curve. We've opened up the compass. Let's call it ST. ST. Okay. So we've put our compass here. We open up the compass, and then we draw with one point here. We draw this curve ST. Now we come here. We don't change the gap between the compass. We don't change it. When we measure it here, we don't change it. So we put a point here, the one end of the compass here. We draw the same arc. Okay, let me stop this video so we can continue with our demo. Since this video is taking too long, let me stop this one here. So let us continue with our walkthrough. If you click this button here, you get 3 options. Start from beginning, continue from the last session, and then start from a particular exercise. With the start from beginning, it means that you start going through your exercises right from the beginning. So if you select that one and you click OK, you are now given this screen here. On this screen, you have navigational buttons, next, previous, and close. You can close your study session, or you can move to the next exercise when you have finished with the current exercises. The previous one, when you start, is disabled because you cannot go back, because this is the beginning of your study. So when we click next, for example, we go to this exercise here, and these exercises provide you everything that you need to study. For each course, I provide over 1,000 single exercises that cover every aspect of your course. So I guarantee that if you are able to handle every exercise, you will have covered everything that you need to give you a good success. So let's move through these buttons here. Now, before I forget, let me tell you that there are these two buttons here. The Excel icon and the calculator icon are there for you to actually access Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. If you need to do some calculations, you can open that spreadsheet by just clicking the button here. And because of this feature, I do not want you to open Excel separately. That is outside of this program. If you need to open Excel, please use this button here to open Excel. So you can open Excel, do whatever you want to do, and then you can close it. In some exercises, you need to use Excel. That's why I have provided that button. And so you can open Excel at any time you want. To close it, just click this button here, close spreadsheet, and then it will be closed for you, and you are back to the exercise. The calculator button allows you to use a calculator. If you don't have a calculator, you can use this calculator here. And also, there are some graphing exercises that you can use this button here to do your graphing. So I am asking you not to open Excel or any program as you are going through this course, because I've already provided them for you. Now, you can close this if you want to close it. So let's move through these exercises here. This exercise actually is about fractions and improper fractions, proper fractions, mixed fractions, and all those topics. So move through the exercise. Over here, I have ensured that I give you interesting questions that will help you to actually retain
information. Over here, provide these buttons here so that you can shift the brackets. If you click the button to the left, it shifts it to the left. If you click it to the right, it shifts to the right. And this one is the same. So I have enabled you to shift these brackets so that you can know how they affect the positions of the brackets, affect the calculations. You are also able to generate numbers. You're also able to generate your own numbers so that you can reproduce numbers to do this type of exercises as many times as you want. If you want to change the numbers, just change them so that you have different numbers to perform this type of exercises. And then with these numbers, you can also move the brackets. I believe that by having this visual cue, you are able to retain information more than just reading. So this is one way that I try to make this course as interesting as possible. You can generate your own numbers if you want, and then you can move these brackets so that you know the BODMAS, which ones you do first. This type of exercises is going to help you to retain information. Now, if you want to move forward, just move forward. I've given you drag and drop, okay? I have given you as much chance to do various exercises, various methods of answering your questions. So you can do drag and drop and ensure that when you have the correct arrangement order of the tabs, your answer will be right. So over here, arrange these statements in a logical order from top to bottom. Ali runs away. Ali saw a snake. Ali told his friends about the snake. Ali was walking on the path. Ali jumped into the air. I think it starts with Ali was walking on the path. Ali saw a snake. Ali had to run away before he can tell his friends. So this is not right. Ali jumped. When he saw the snake, he jumped. Ali ran away, and then later he told his friends. So you get the answer correct. When you change it, you get the wrong answer. So I have provided you different questions for you to actually learn to master mathematics at your level. Over here, I have a drag and drop. I've given you drag and drop questions, but you have to read the information. You have to analyze what I have given you, come out with your solution before you do the drag and drop. Some of the old Ghanaian currency coin had the following weight relationships. The 1 cedi coin was 5 grams in weight. You can use naira, dollar, or whatever you want. The 50 pesewa coin was half as much heavier than the 1 cedi coin. Blah, blah, blah. So I will leave you to read through the questions. And then you form these groups of coins to see which one is heavier, which one is the heaviest, which one is the lightest, which one is in between, and so on and so forth. And then you arrange them. You actually drag and drop to arrange them in ascending order of weight, So you can go back if you want by clicking the previous button. You can go forward by clicking the next button. And so I give you as much information and as much work to do as you require. Okay, so let me stop this one here. To stop, just click the close button. And then we are back to the interface. I have already talked about the continue from the last session. Over here, if we want to continue from the last session, we just click this and we click OK. And this is where we were a few seconds ago. This is where we were. So let me close again. And then we are back here. Over here, it says start from, and then exercise something. If you want to start from exercise 97, just type it there and click OK. So this is exercise 97, which is about construction, okay? You can move forward if you want, or you can move backwards. And there are so many construction exercises for you here. So let me close this again and go back to the interface. So let's say that you are learning with some friends. You have 2 other people with you going through this course. And probably one day, one of them calls you and said, can you help me with exercise 77, question 4? So this is what will help you to go straight to the exercise. So exercise 77, you just type it in, and then you look at question 4. You look at question 4, and then probably you can discuss it on the phone. Question 4, the solution to question 4 with your friend. You can express it. So let me close it again. And over here, we come to the last one, studying or working by subject. As a matter of fact, this is where I want you to start. I want you to do the actual studies before you attempt to do any questions. So after you've gone through this, then use these buttons, the other buttons, to actually go through the exercises. Now over here, remember that I've told you that we are using year 7 course for this demo. So this is the syllabus for year 7. This is the topics that year 7 syllabus contains, okay? And for each main topic, like whole numbers, geometry, numbers and properties, decimals, algebra, negative numbers, and so on and so forth, they all have subjects. So whatever you select, for example, algebra, this is what you will study within algebra: introduction to algebra, substituting and evaluation, equivalent expressions, like terms, multiplying and dividing expressions, and so on and so forth. And then at the end of it, you can apply your algebra knowledge. Then I help you to apply your knowledge by clicking this one here. And after you've gone through it and you click the apply your knowledge, you are given the topics again. And you can actually have exercises on each of the topic that you have studied. So let me close this. Okay, let me close this again, and let me explain what I'm trying to say here again. For example, statistics and probability, you have different topics within that, within statistics and probability. Collecting data, dot plot, line graphs, experimental probability, apply your knowledge. Again, when you have gone through all these topics, you can come here and click the apply your knowledge, and then you get the same topics. And each of them allows you to, gives you exercises as to what you have learned within that subtopic, okay? And you can go through that exercise. So my advice is that do not use the apply your knowledge after every lesson. Do not do that. For example, geometry, go through the basic geometry objects. Okay, I will stop this. Go through the basic geometry objects. Okay, go through them one by one, and then when you finish, you can use the apply your knowledge to actually do some exercises based on that topic. For example, again, let me try this one here: traverse lines and parallel lines. When you click it, I actually take you through the concepts of that particular topic. Okay, I just don't dump you into
Let me play this briefly. In this short lesson, we are going to look at transversal and parallel lines. So after this lesson, we should be able to identify angles in relation to another angle. For example, identifying a co-interior angle. Secondly, we should be able to find the size of angles when a transversal crosses two parallel lines. Next, we will be able to... This is going to take a while. This is part of the course. This video you are watching here is not what the demo, is not part of the demo. It's actually embedded in the course. So for each topic, I provide you with such a video to explain the theory and the concept behind that particular topic. So I'm going to actually skip through this video because I'm not going to play it all. It takes about 16 minutes, and that will add to the length of this demo video. So I'm going to go just brush through. So over here, of the transversal line, I just teach you inside the other two lines. So let us get on the opposite side of the traverse. We have corresponding angles, and they are the same corresponding positions of the lines. Now the problem comes when you want to decide which angles are supplementary, which angles are equal. Let me close this. The technique that I use that helps me to determine which ones are corresponding angles, which ones are alternate, which ones are equal, which ones are not equal, and so on and so forth, is that when I take this here, some people actually number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. But that to me is a bit confusing. So what I have actually come out with is that you can start this. Remember that we have when the transversal line AB crosses the two parallel lines, they form 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 angles are formed. So what I have come up with is that I named the angles, the equal angles the same. So for example, you can start here from here, or you can start from any of the angles. Let's start from here. If I name this 1, I name this 2, 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. It could have been, I could have named it 1, 2, 1, 2. It doesn't matter. So when I name this 1, that is this side here, correspond to this one here. So I have to name this 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Angles with the same numbers are equal. So 2, this angle here is equal to this. So if this angle is 60 degrees, this is 60 degrees. Okay. 2 is equal to this. And the 2 here is equal to the 2 here. The 2 here is equal to any 2 here. Okay. Okay, so this video is long, so we are not going to finish it. So I've stopped it. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. For each topic, there are subtopics that we go through one by one. What we demonstrated is traverse lines, and it's actually under geometry. So when we get to geometry, we have these subtopics: basic geometry objects, measuring angles, finding angles at a point, traverse lines and parallel lines, circles and constructions, and then you apply your knowledge. So when we take traverse lines and parallel lines, for example, we actually discuss that subtopic. We discuss the concept behind the topic. Okay. So when we take algebra, we actually discuss the concept behind algebra. Okay. The concept behind each and every one of the topics. So we discuss it in a video. Okay. We are not going to play this. Introduction to
algebra, we discuss it, we do the actual theory and concept of that one. And then after that, I give you the chance to actually apply your knowledge. And you can apply your knowledge to every one of them that we have studied. You do exercises on every one of them. Okay? You do exercises. I give you exercises on each one of the topics that we have studied. Let me close this. Equivalent expression, we have exercises on that, and you apply that knowledge that you have learned so far to that exercise. So I have tried to make this course as interesting as possible. These are all exercises that you can do after you have gone through, let's say, algebra. These are all exercises that you can do. And then that will give you the chance to apply the knowledge that you have learned within that topic, within that subject. So let me go to decimals. You have applied your knowledge in decimals. And again, you have all the topics that you have learned in decimals. Rounding subjects, rounding numbers, you have exercises based on that. And then most of the time, I give you the chance to use technology for that particular topic. So using technology, I give you this exercise based on technology, okay? And normally it is Excel. So for each topic that you study, I give you exercise. So you can use technology to actually test yourself in using technology for that particular exercise. Over here in which one? In equation. Over here in equation, for example, you use applied knowledge, and in the application of your knowledge, you have using technology. Click that, and then you do exercises based on either your calculator or Excel. Okay, so this particular exercise is based on Excel. You close it, go to measurement, for example. These are all the topics that you study in measurement, okay? And again, you have apply your knowledge. And apply your knowledge, you have individual subjects to apply your knowledge on. So you use these exercises to test yourself as to how you have understood that particular topic. This one here is drag and drop. So you can drag and drop, and you get a feedback as soon as you drag and drop. The question is list 4 most common metric units for length. Okay, and this one here, write the missing number. Okay, that's not what I want. And over here in exercise D, number D, it says which metric unit will be the most appropriate for measuring the following. Drag and drop. So you drag, for example, distance between 2 towns. How are you going to measure them? Measure the distance between 2 towns. Are you going to use millimeters or meters or whatever? And of course, the answer is you use kilometers. You use kilometers to measure distances between 2 towns. The diameter of a Coke can is usually measured in millimeters or centimeters. I think it's, let me try millimeters. It is millimeters. So if you put kilometers there, you are not going to measure Coca-Cola can, the diameter, in kilometers. That is not on. Okay, so you have the chance. And then over here, you can, sometimes I provide another set of questions based on that topic. So over here, there is another set of questions here that you can do to test yourself in that particular subject. So you can close it now. So I have given you everything that you need to master maths at your level. What else can I say? What else can I say here? Okay, there are so many questions that you can go through that I have provided. Okay, over here, it is another drag and drop. which you can use. So let me close it. So I think I have exhausted myself. We've gone through this course as much as I can, but as I said, it's best to actually come to this point, start from this portion here, study by subject. And for each main topic, you go through subtopics, okay? You go through subtopics. And in each subtopic, I actually give you the theory and the concept behind the topic. The theory and the concept behind the topic in video forms. So you actually learn through videos for each topic within your course. And then after you do that, after you finish that, you have the chance to apply your knowledge to every one of the subjects that you have studied. And in all of them, I give you another chance to use technology. A question will be based on using technology, which you have to use to solve that problem. And after you have gone through this, then that is the point where I ask you to actually come back to this, start from beginning or continue or start from this exercise. After you've gone through all this here, down here, after you've gone through everything here, that is when you actually come to here and then begin learning. So let us go through a few of the exercises. Let me stop here. Let me show you a few of the exercises. Let's say you want to go to exercise. Let's go to exercise, say 115. This is exercise 115. It's a mixture of questions. Over here, question 5 says, rotate the pattern 180 clockwise. I want you to rotate this pattern 180 clockwise. So you move these ones here, these shapes here, to actually give you what the shape will look like when you rotate it 180 degrees. Okay, I don't know the answer by heart. I have to actually work it out. So I'm just dragging it and putting it anywhere. But I haven't got it right. When you check the answer, if you can't handle it, just check the answer. Okay, just check the answer here. So when you rotate this object here, this is what you get. This is what you get. So that is it. Okay, you can hide it. You can hide it if you want. And I've given you a lot of questions to try. Let's look at another example here, 139. So let's close this. Let's go to exercise 139. What is exercise 139 going to give us? Over here, I want you to apply some analytical skills. I've given you buttons here with nothing on it. Just generate numbers. Click the generate new numbers. Okay. And I've given you some arithmetic to do. For example, 3, that is the button in the middle. It has 3 written on it. When you add 4, what is 3 plus 4? 7. That is very easy. 7. But 3 plus 4 is not 11.5. So you drag the correct answer and put it on the right button. You can check your answer. And of course, 3 plus 4 is 7. Then let's say 3 times 3.7. 3 times 3.7 is 11 point something. So 1.9 is wrong. So click the correct answer, put it on the button and check your answer. And of course, we have only 2, so you can drag and drop and check your answer. Okay. As soon as you finish the inner one, another set of questions is provided for you. Another set of buttons is provided for you. And 11.1 plus 6.6, what is it? That is 17 point something. So this is the correct answer. So you drag it and drop it on the correct one. You can check your answer, and so on and so forth. When you finish, you can generate new buttons, new numbers. You can generate as many numbers as you want to help you to repeat the exercise. If you go to the next one, it is the same principle. Okay, generate numbers. This time the numbers are big. So what is 62599 times 2? I don't know. Sorry, yes, 62955 times 2 is going to be, is it 12, 15 point something? And I want you not to use your calculator. Use paper and pencil to actually do the sum, the arithmetics. What is 62599 minus 52936? Actually work it out with pen and paper. So let me say this one here is this. Let me check. Check answer. Yeah. So 62599 times 2 is 1251998. And we pick the correct answer and put it on the right button. So that is what I do. Let me close it. Let's go to another question, like say question 80. Let's look at question 80 and we'll probably finish question 80. Click OK. No, that is not what I want. Close it. I thought I corrected question 80. Let me go to question 80. That is question 80. I give you such questions to test your analytical skills. Okay. You can move next to do the next question. Move next and move next. You can go to previous one by clicking the previous one and previous one and previous one. Let us have a few more and then we stop. Let's look at 87. Let me close this. Look at question 87. Question 87, for example, is about this one here, quadrilateral, questions about quadrilateral, okay? If you cannot figure out the answer, then just click the button to show you the answer, and you can then attempt it. Okay, you can show the answer at any time you want. Over here, I want you to figure out the variables, what the angles are. I want you to work out what the angles are. There are videos. Most of the questions have videos attached to them, so you can watch how I perform the solution. So what else can I do? Let me close this again. And I've always said that we're going to finish it, but let me try exercise 87 then. I don't know whether you've looked at 87. Oh, we've done this exercise 87. Let me close. Let's look at one more. Just 80. What exercise can I look at now? Let's look at exercise 28. Okay, and then we will finish. Exercise 28. Sorry, exercise 28. And then we finish. Okay, in exercise 28, I actually give you some mental exercises, okay? Just click the button to listen to the...
Increase 1000 by 88.
Okay, so you have to do it as quickly as you can.
How many 21 centimeters pieces can I get from a string 1 meter long?
Okay.
What is 28 multiplied by 25? Int. Multiply 28 by 100 and divide 25 by 100. 25 divided by 100 is a quarter. So multiply 28 by 100 and divide the result by 4.
Okay, so let's finish here. I think I've adjusted myself. I've taken you through the course step by step. We've looked at the test, the pre-test, the pre-course test. We've gone through. We've looked at all the glossaries that I provide for you in the course. And every glossary has a video to define the terms that you meet at the course. We have summaries. I have summarized every subject that we will go through, and most of these summaries have exercises and again videos to help you learn effectively. And then I have this one here to teach you step by step and subject by subject with videos as we go through all the courses in the syllabus, in your syllabus for your year. So we go through it, and then when you finish everything, then you can start doing your exercises by clicking this button here, which will take you through the exercises one by one. And I've provided navigational buttons for you to move freely within the exercises. So that is what I have for you. And thank you for listening. If you have managed to sit through this lengthy presentation, then I hope I have also managed to convince you that this course is a great and effective way to learn mathematics at your level. I encourage you to enroll in this course and go through all the concepts and methods that I have presented in this course. And an improvement in your math skill is guaranteed. Learn together in a group with 2 other students. Your study group should not be more than 3. Between your study group, you can discuss all the concepts and methods presented in this course. I also mentioned in the presentation that I run a 2-day-a-week Zoom sessions where we learn maths. In those sessions, I can also help with your homework and other problems you may be facing in maths. So in addition to this course, I encourage you to also consider enrolling in some of those Zoom courses to make your learning preparation complete. Bye for now, and I hope to meet you online.